This morning when I talked to the team, it was really difficult. We did a Zoom call as long as I have enough people around me to know how to do those things, and that was really, really difficult. And when I came in and I saw the former players in the lounge, that was really difficult. And then when I realized that I was going to walk through that tunnel for the last time as a coach, that was really difficult. But I will tell you that I'm retiring and resigning as a men's basketball coach at North Carolina. It's been a thrill. It has been unbelievable. I've loved it. It's coaching, and that's all I've ever wanted to do since the summer after my 9th grade year in high school. No one has ever enjoyed coaching like I have for 48 years. Everybody wants to know the reason, and the reason is very simple. Every time somebody asked me how long I was going to go, I would always say, as long as my health allows me to do it. But deep down inside, I knew that the only thing that would speed that up, if I did not feel that I was any longer the right man for the job. I'm not going to say the best man, because I never thought I was the best at anything. But 15 years at Kansas, I thought I was the right man. And this time at North Carolina, I thought I was the right man. I no longer feel that I am the right man for the job. In 2017, we made it to the last game again. And we were fortunate enough to win. Kennedy Meeks, Isaiah Hicks, Justin and Theo and Joel and Nate and all those guys. That time in the locker room reminded me, because I was an assistant in '82. I was in there in '05 and '09 and now in '17. And every year that I was in there after winning a national championship, the first time as Coach Smith's assistant, somebody would say, "Gosh, I wish I were on Franklin Street." And I would laugh, and every time I said, including '82, when I had black hair, that Franklin Street may be pretty good, but nothing's better in this locker room. And that's the way I felt in '17. And in '19, we were number 1 seed again. Kenny Williams is back over there. I told him somewhere down the line we're related. I have a picture on my desk when we lost, when we ran into the really hot Auburn team, that I took Kenny out and I knew the game was over. And I kissed him on the top of the head. And it's one of my favorite pictures. But the last 2 years have been really hard. 2020, we had so many injuries. Yes, it was this year before we get to the tournament, the ACC tournament, I saw that box score from when we played Virginia Tech at Virginia Tech during that season. We only played 7 guys. We didn't have Brandon Robinson, didn't have Cole Anthony, and we lost in double overtime. The injuries really did hurt, but I felt that I made mistakes. We had 6 games last year that were decided on last-second shots. We lost all 6 of those. My first year as Coach Smith's assistant, we had 5 games where the other team had the last shot that would have won the game, and they missed all 5. That was the difference between me and Coach Smith. I talked to him about that several years later. Needless to say, I didn't talk to him after last season, even though I talked to him every night. It's funny and humorous and comical, but so many times over my career, I've had fans say, "Coach, if you could just beat Duke twice, we don't care about anything else." I don't know if they're going to say that right now, because we did beat Duke twice, but we still didn't get done what I wanted to do. I just never got the team this year where I wanted them to go. I just didn't get it done. So yes, I'm getting old, body's breaking down mentally and physically. But I do love teasing my players and said, I just wonder what you're going to look like when you're 70. Yes, I want to see my children and grandchildren more. I want to give Wanda more time. But the biggest reason we're having this meeting is I just don't feel that I'm the right man any longer. I love coaching, working with kids on the court, the locker room, the trips, the jump around music, the trying to build a team. I will always love that, and I'm scared to death of the next phase. But I no longer feel that I'm the right man. Telling my team that, talking to them this morning is the most difficult thing I've done. I've been so lucky because of those guys. Now 18 years at UNC, and you're darn right, I'm as happy as I can be about those individual banners up there of the players that I coached, including Tyler Hansbrough on the front row. That's pretty impressive. All those guys that helped us put those 3 banners behind us. I'm so proud that I can say in the 18 years we've been back, we're the only school to win 3. Some of you people have been around here a long time and you see that play hard, play smart, play together. Some of the older guys that played here when I was assistant, that's the last thing I yelled in the locker room when they'd leave the locker room every night. We'd get together and clap our hands together and they would leave. I'd yell, play hard, play smart. Bill Guthridge was always teasing me. He said, how do you want them to play? And I said it every game for the last 8 years I was assistant here. Coach Smith, being Coach Smith, would say, I think it should be play hard, play smartly. I told him I was going to stick with the play hard. My second and third year at Kansas, second or third year, Coach Smith called me and said, we've added one thing to your play hard, play smart, and we've added play together. And that was one of the most proud moments I've ever had. Again, I've been so lucky because of those players. And nothing is better than seeing the look on your guys' faces when they accomplish something that was really hard. I love those locker room celebrations, and yes, a lot of people realized that I couldn't dance worth a darn. But I didn't care. I just wanted to jump around and act like a fool. So to the players that are here, the ones that have already sent messages, that have already called me, and the ones that haven't, I loved every one of you, and thank you. And Bubba, we've grown together and trust him a great deal. I'm putting a lot of load on he and the chancellor's shoulders because I'm giving my opinion very strongly about what I want to happen with the program. But Bubba and the chancellor, I thank you guys. When I think of Eric Coots, I think of somebody can do everything. And when I think of Eric Coots and Hubert Davis together, I think they're the only 2 people that can love this university as much as I do. And Steve Robinson, 26 years as a security blanket and as a brother. And words cannot say what I feel about Steve. Some people portray coaches in a manner I never see. We all got into coaching because we loved our game, wanted to teach and wanted to help young men develop or young women develop, not for the money. We did it because someone helped us and we wanted to help others. So many, I can't say them all, but I truly admire and respect and lucky to call them friends. Tubby Smith, Lon Kruger, Tom Izzo, Mark Few, yes, Bob Huggins. I always say that he's a little unusual, but I love him to death. Jared Hass, Mark Turgeon. In our own league, Mike Krzyzewski and Jimmy Boeheim, already in the Hall of Fame, and they made me work as hard as I could every day. And Leonard Hamilton, who needs to be in our Hall of Fame. Younger guys like Josh Pastner, Chris Mack, and Tony Bennett. Oh my gosh, what a coach Tony Bennett is. I've been lucky because those guys pushed me. I've also been lucky because old guys like Nolan Richardson and Bob Knight helped me immensely when I was a young coach. And some we've lost, like Coach John Chaney, who would always hug me, and Coach John Thompson, who was one of my mentors. And yes, Dean Smith, Bill Guthridge, and Eddie Folkler, who taught me everything I know. Coach Smith, I've always said, was the best there ever was on the court and was even better off it. I could never come close to matching what Coach Smith did, but every day I tried to make him proud. I never had any day that I didn't give my absolute best, not one single day. I cared deeply for my school. I cared deeply for every player. And I'm really proud of what we accomplished. If I can get through this period here, I'm going to try to put aside the fact that I no longer feel like I'm the right person and try to concentrate on the fact that I'm really proud of what we accomplished. I don't know what the future holds. In some ways, I'm very sad, and as I said, I'm scared. But I'm also really happy and proud. We did okay. I was coaching great youngsters, winning a few games, and loving it with my heart and my soul. We did okay. Lou Gehrig said, and I say again, I feel like I'm the luckiest man on this earth. Thank you. There's no question that I'm old school, and there's been a couple of things happen, the transfer portal and things like that, but they didn't make the decision. They just confirmed what I love our players. Walker Kessler, I love Walker Kessler. Sterling, Walker Miller, Garrison. I can go down. KJ's here. Wanda wanted me to quit in 2009. And she really wanted me to quit in 2017, but I survived 12 more years, so I felt like I did all right. Then this year, like I said, I didn't feel like I was touching the right buttons for my players. And I see Andrew and KJ and Walker and Sterling, and I'm not blaming those guys. I just didn't feel like I did the job that I wanted to do.
So just when you kissed the floor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, did you know at that point, or
No.
did you suspect at that point?
No, it's strange because I didn't plan that. You remember how good our home court was for us this year, except for the Marquette game. And I was thinking about, I really appreciate you. So the classes are virtual. We wanted them to go home and then bring them back like we've talked as a staff, like April 12th or something like that, to start individual workouts again. I didn't want them to come back for this. I'm having a hard enough time when I look over there and see those guys. But I didn't want somebody else to tell them. And so the current team, we did the Zoom, and I asked all the different coaches to call different people, and I see Marvin Williams standing back over there. Never been around a more appreciative young man than Marvin Williams. Didn't even start a game for us. Told me the only thing he wanted to do was win. And fortunately, we won a national championship. I don't know what's in the future. I know that I won't coach again. How can I leave Leaky Black and go coach somebody else? That's not going to happen. If I could be useful in some way to the University of North Carolina, I would try to do that, see what it sounds like. I don't know that there was a single event. Like I said, some things sort of confirmed that it was the right decision. I called Bubba, I think, was it Tuesday of last week? So we lose on Friday night, and I called Bubba on Tuesday of that week, and Chancellor was nice enough to meet with me on Sunday and asked me if I would think about it for another 24 hours. So I did what he asked. I stayed late awake all night. And the last 2 days, I was a lucky guy. I went to Augusta National, played par 3 Tuesday, and then played 18 Tuesday afternoon. Played 18 yesterday morning, and it was beautiful, and I loved it, and shot 88, 87. I did par 13, 14, 15, 17, and 18 to finish, so I probably won't ever go back. But between every shot, I wasn't really thinking about hitting the golf ball. I was thinking about how I was going to tell my players. Old Roy's going to feel pretty good about what we accomplished, and Old Roy's going to be proud. But the problem is, Old Roy's selfish. He wanted more, and I didn't think I could cheat my school and my kids. Big moments, I've been so fortunate, but I will tell you, it was a thrill for me when Coach Smith and Michael Jordan came in our locker room in St. Louis. And I told them that North Carolina basketball had been Phil Ford and Dean Smith and Michael Jordan. But for the rest of history, North Carolina basketball was also going to be Sean May and Raymond Felton and Marvin Williams. And to have Michael and Coach Smith in the locker room, I think about the relationships. And Shammond Williams never played for me, but he's here today. And Tyler Zeller, I'm afraid I'm going to miss somebody's name. Let me close this thing by saying again, I've been so lucky. I appreciate you guys and girls. I'm from the South, so if you say guys, that means male and female all. I'm appreciative of Chancellor Budig and Bob Frederick, Dickie Bedour and Chancellor Meeser, Bubba and Chancellor Guskowicz. And for the rest of my life, I'll always say that I was a coach, and that's the proudest moment of my life. Thank you.